everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I just decided to do another favorites video. I just wanted to talk about some of my favorite products. So I'm going to be starting a series on my channel where every month I go through and I talk about my favorite products and what I've been loving using and how phenomenal these cheap products are. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already, and we will jump into the video in just a second here. I just wanted to touch on everything that's going on in the world right now. I mean, we definitely have COVID. We've been dealing with that for a long time. The virus has completely taken over and disrupted everyone's life, and I think we've all found different ways of coping with that so far. It's really exciting that things are starting to open up right now. I actually got to eat at a restaurant for the first time, first dining experience that I've had in a very long time, and it was definitely different, and places are adapting, so it's really cool. Just remember to stay safe out there. The other topic is everything that is going on with the BLM movement and how much that has blown up and how racially aware people are becoming. And I don't mean that as a bad thing, I just don't know a better way to explain it. That people are seeing that there are specific groups of people due to the color of their skin that have been suppressed and discriminated against, and how incredibly wrong that is. I applaud everyone who is protesting and everything that is going on with it. I think it is blowing up to a point where this is the time where things are finally going to change. And I just want to be a positive advocate in that aspect, because this is something that I will teach my kids. You should not judge or have a preemptive notion about people based on the color of their skin. We are all humans. We are all a part of the human race. We are all living on the same earth. We should be treated equally. There is nothing that could justify racism. It is a terrible, horrible thing, and we need to change it. And we need to be the voices that do change it. So I just wanted to touch on that first. Now we will jump into the favorites. So moving right along, so I'm going to be pulling these out in order of like how I do my face. So the very first thing that I want to touch on is primers, and I don't think these will ever change. They work so well for my skin, and I just absolutely love them. So I do have dry skin, so the first one is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer. It's very, very hydrating. It smooths over my skin really well, makes it feel hydrated. I love this primer, and it smells so good. It smells so fresh. I love it. And next up, I have the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So in my T-zone, so on my nose, and then like right here on my cheeks, my chin, and my forehead especially are where I have my enlarged pores. So this really does a phenomenal job of covering those up, and I love it. So the next thing would be, I have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer, and this is so good of a tinted moisturizer. I do apply it with a damp sponge because I do like a little bit more fuller coverage, but I've been going fairly light with my makeup, except for today because I just love like the lightweight feel of it. It makes my face just look really smooth, and like I just have beautiful skin, and that is the goal of what I want. So ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, I love this. It's so good. Next up, for concealer, I have been using the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. Now, this is a very full coverage concealer, but if you use a small amount, you can actually spread it out more, and it will lessen the coverage a little bit, so it's more of like a really medium coverage when you use just a tiny bit, and I'm talking like just a couple little like dabs under the eye, one on my forehead, 2 down my nose, and then like 3 dots on my chin. And I just dab it on very lightly and blend it out, and it doesn't change from the tinted moisturizer to the concealer. You can't see that one is so much more coverage than the other. They blend out really, really smooth together, and I really, really enjoy that. And for my face powder, I have been using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Pressed Powder. Now this, I have this giant brush here, so I will just swirl it around and place it all over my face. For under my eyes, I do use a little bit more of like a concentrated brush. This one is the e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I will just get a little bit more powder to do my under eyes, but for the rest of my face, I will use the giant e.l.f. face brush. And for bronzer, I have been loving the Makeup Revolution Mega Bronzer. This is in the color 02 Warm. It is like perfect summer shade for me. Really bronzes up. I can really get my face sculpted, and I think it looks just phenomenal. I'm sticking with a little bit more of the natural side of things because summertime, obviously, more people go really light with their makeup. Today, I didn't because I fell in that zone where I just needed to keep going. But the ColourPop Interstellar Pressed Powder Blush, this is like it's kind of like a deeper pinky blush, and it's really pigmented. So if you just pick up the tiniest amount on your brush and just dab it on your cheeks, it gives such a beautiful little blushy glow without being like too cakey, too heavy, or too dark. Next up, I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it smells so good. It smells tropical and amazing. So it's what I have on today, and it just gives such a nice subtle glow to the skin without being too intense, and I have really been loving that. It's their Pink Rose Butter Highlighter. For eyeshadow palettes, I have been using two. I have been using the ColourPop She's Got Solstice and then the ColourPop Give It To Me Straight palette. These are my two go-to palettes. So this palette is definitely very, very neutral. I have some darker colors, but I pretty much stick to like these three right here and then this bottom one, which is what I used today, was this bottom color and this on my inner corner and this all over my lid. You can definitely get it to be like really subtle, and I think it just looks so beautiful. For eyeliner, because everything in the summer is like so bright and light, I have been using the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in white for my waterline to really brighten up and open my eyes, make them look a little bigger. And then for liquid liner, I have been loving the ColourPop BFF Liquid Liner, and this is in the color Grande, which is actually a brown instead of a black. Typically I do use black, but I have been loving the brown eyeliner with more natural looks. For lip liner, because I do change my lipstick color all the time, I have been loving the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lips, and that's what I've mainly been using. Today's color is Ringleader, but I do have a bunch of those that I love using because they are super long lasting. And like this, I have already had on my lips for 3 hours and I ate lunch. But as far as the lip liner goes, no matter what shade I'm putting on my lips, I always use this lip liner. It is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil, and this one is in the color Oh Snap. So it's just like a beautiful mauvey color. And if you buy these, by the way, you sharpen it. Even though it's like, feels like it's a plastic pencil, you do still sharpen it like a normal pencil. For my eyebrows, I love to use a brow pomade. So this is the Milani Stay Put Brow Color in dark brown. And so it is just like a little pomade, but this is so creamy and it applies so beautifully. I just can't say enough good things about it. I think it is so phenomenal. And then it does come with this little eyebrow brush as well. When you buy the pomade, you get the brush with it. And this little brush is so perfect. So it has like the spoolie, and then you have the brush on this end. And I think it just works so well. It is my favorite eyebrow brush to use. Another palette that I have really been loving is the NYX Professional Makeup Face Palette. I actually got this palette for free for buying other NYX things, but this is what it looks like on the inside. And so you get like 2 highlighters, you get 3 highlighters and then 2 bronzers. So this one is really nice for bronzing up the face, and this one's really nice for sculpting. Another use that I have for the super dark bronzer is when I'm not tan, I can't really use it. So I actually go over the pomade of my eyebrows with the powder to make sure that they stay put all day. For mascara, this should come as no surprise to anyone who's watched my channel before. My absolute favorite is the Essence Lash Princess Mascara, which is actually what I'm wearing today, and I love the way that it makes my lashes look. It just makes them look so full and beautiful, and I just can't rave enough about this mascara. Last but not least, for setting spray, I have been loving the Milani 16 Hour Make It Last setting spray. I think this does a phenomenal job of just like locking in my makeup all day. So even when I go outside and I'm playing with my kids, or I'm being outside in the sun, in the heat, in the humidity, it has been doing a phenomenal job of really locking in my makeup. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you will ever know, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!